because modernity is dominant, and it was dominant obviously in his time through imperialism and direct colonialism in India, for example. And obviously Muslims had lost their empire. They are subjugated in India, where they ruled for thousands of years. But the thing is, and Muslim nationalism takes the defeat of Muslims or their weakness as something good or bad in itself, or sign of something good and bad in itself. The dominance of Muslim or their weakness doesn't mean anything. If all the Muslims conquer the whole world, but they are not following the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then they are all doomed. There's no point in that domination. Similarly, if Muslims are weak, the weakest people on the earth, but they are following the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with them, then there's nothing more to be desired. So first thing is, when you are weak, then this temptation of Muslim nationalism, which sees dominance and power of Muslim as something good or bad in itself. That's the first thing. And it is this domination and the extreme desire to overcome this domination which leads a lot of sincere people to make these sort of mistakes, because they forget that their basic allegiance is to the truth, not to a specific people or their contingent circumstances. That's the first thing. The second thing is, especially concerning modernity, there's this obviously modernity is dominance, so it's natural to be in its awe, and it's easy to be influenced by it. And one of the way you can be influenced by it is, and the way Allama Iqbal is, to say that there are two streams of modernity. One is materialistic, the other idealistic. And idealistic is spiritual. Either spirituality is something good or bad in itself. And you say that, okay, we are against materialism, so we should associate ourselves with this stream of modernity. But the thing is, materialism can be a deviation, spiritualism can be deviation too. There are true or Rahmani spiritualism, Islamic spiritualism, but there is Shaitani and Iblisi spiritualism as well. And idealism is, if it is a spiritualism, I don't even agree with that necessarily. I mean, idealism and materialism are flip side of each other. There's no basic difference between them in a sense. But anyway, and then so you feel secure that you have rejected the obvious materialism and atheism and all that. You have aligned yourself with idealism, and then once you have done that, then you try to show that the Islam has similar ideas as this dominant stream. So give yourself an illusion, because you're distressed by the weakness of Muslims. So you say, oh, Muslims actually initiated all this science and technology and humanism. And when we actually follow idealism today, in its humanism and its science and technology, we are actually reclaiming our own heritage. So that's the psychological and ideological and historical way in which modernity penetrates Islam and Muslims. So these were mistakes regarding modernity. Now, there are mistakes